get our cheers on and continue through our night. So, okay. So, just some housekeeping things. Still looking for Asian wear for a shoot for Style and Soul magazine. And still looking for men's attire, high fashion. That means suits. That means sports jackets. That means slacks. That means pants. That means a button up. That means a nice sweater. Turtleneck. Okay? So if you guys know of any designers, please let me know. DM me. Also, I'm looking for dancers. So anyone that knows a few dancers, please send me their IGs and I would like to speak with them. Ignite Brain says, and Superfly, my lady, been a while. Your voice is super. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it has been a while, so good to see you. So we have some topics tonight. Okay. We have different kinds of cheating, the 7-year itch, squirting and creaming. Are there such things as too many questions? And the poll for the evening, which was, if a man, if you know you really trust a woman, what are you going to let her do? So that was the poll question, and that was actually quite interesting. Got a lot of rounded ones, but I got some top threes. No, wait. About 5. A 5 top. So that was about decent. So let's get into it. Okay, shall we? So the different kinds of cheating, which I'm sure most of you know, but we have a nice little list of fun ones here that you might not have actually thought of, but they all consider cheating. Kells, Mr. Blunt says, different kinds of cheating. I thought cheating is cheating. Cheating is cheating, but actually, well, it depends, actually. Let's talk about that, because of that nature that I believe cheating is cheating. However, there are levels to it, just like anything else. You know, there's what they would say here, which is micro cheating, which could be your everyday, that a lot of people don't really consider cheating if you have any real confidence in your relationship, because it's just like, maybe if, you know, the cable guy came by or whatever, and, you know, for a female, well, I guess for, you know what, for anybody, if you want to flirt with the cable guy, cable woman, it's your choice. But you're but you're flirting with them and you're married. Is that considered cheating? I mean, you're not going to see them, but maybe you're doing it for extra channels. I don't know. But I'm saying to you is that would be considered cheating. So let's go through the list, right? So we all know about sexual cheating, right? That is the easy one that we're all well aware of, which is the next one. Online affairs. So saying that you still have, which can actually go to one of the other kinds of cheating, which is the micro cheating, which is if you still have a dating profile active, which, I mean, I say that would definitely depend on how long you were in a relationship for, on whether or not that would actually be considered cheating. Because if you've only been in a relationship for 6 months, I don't necessarily think you should close out your dating profile, but that is just me. Okay. I don't think that if you've been dating somebody for 6 months that you should necessarily be like, I'm going to close that out. Nah, I think I'm going to keep that for a little bit, shorty. So yeah. But having online affairs, which can actually go into the emotional affairs, actually, when you think of it, because even if you can't have a sexual relationship with a person that's online. You can give them that emotional connection, and have them as your confidant while your partner is taking a backseat of in your life and knowing certain things. Hey, Lothario, how are you doing? Hey, King, how are you doing? Good evening, good evening. Welcome to everybody that's coming in. Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. I am your host, Kaynichole, and we are currently talking about different forms of cheating. So that leads us into if you're doing online, which could be in the form of, I guess, like digital sex, right? You could also be sending money to that person, right? Which, again, for those that are part of my OF, check that out. Definitely have a fun for Wednesday for Hump Day. So definitely check it out. It also depends on how long you had the Legacy Builders family says it also depends on how long you had the account and how active you are on it, because some people forget that they have them. No, that's true. That's true. But I'm just saying, like, if you are in like a committed relationship, like I said, 6 months, that was just my, my example. But I mean, it depends. Yeah, of course. The dating profile, you might have had it for like 5 years and met the person and they might expect you to shut it down right away. So, I mean, there's a lot of different expectations, but that's why you're supposed to have conversation in all of this. The point of it is to acknowledge something, to see something, and then to be able to use it in real life. Because the things that I'm talking about is not far-fetched for any of us. I mean, out of these, I have, I myself have probably done all but like the sexual cheating, because on here is the emotional cheating. And I definitely did that. Well, let me go back to the financial. Sorry, I'm starting to talk about myself. I'll do a story time later, but the financial infidelity. So you're spending money on this person, you're buying them gifts, you're taking them out. Yeah, basically that is, and the emotional cheating, right? So that is where, of course, like I said, you're making them your confidant. And story time, right? So I was dating this guy, and he was really neglecting me emotionally, and it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool, but I started building a friendship with another man, and it didn't become anything sexual, but it became a great, fantastic friendship. And I like never have met a person that's like him. Like, he's the ultimate gentleman. And when I actually told my now ex that I was having this, this relationship, that I was having like conversations with this person and having a fun time talking, and I'm a sapiosexual, which I probably have shared in the past, but so I like to have good conversation, and this person was giving me fantastic conversation. So, I mean, how could I deny myself? I mean, really. So, especially when I was starving, parched beyond belief for some stimulating conversation. And there were red flags. So we can also talk about that in another segment, another time, about spotting the red flags early, because we say we neglect it because we see them and we just don't pay attention to them. And we need to be, as soon as we see any red flags, we need to just leave it. So again, that is part of my resolution. I've been kind of like having the bullshit pass me. So thank goodness for that. But this was one of the ones that I had also done. So, like I said, story time, which is fantasizing about someone else. So, funny story, right? I was working at this factory job, right? I was not a reception. I was taking orders. I was taking orders in um oh my goodness, it was like a call center, duh, call center, and there's a factory in the back, and there was this guy named what was, oh my gosh, Derek. I'm like, why is this so hard? I'm stuttering now. Derek. And he was so freaking swole. I tell you, my goodness, like that man, like how he would lift and move things and the muscles just the moving and the way he could, yo, Lord Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. I tell you, man, amazing, amazing body. And he would be one of the guys, like, that just has like the jeans and nothing else. And so you could see yo, yo, body of Adonis, yo. So yes, it was, yeah. And I was like, and I was in a relationship and I would just be like, but he was clearly off limits. Clearly he was off limits, but God damn. So, so I was definitely guilty of some shit. So that's a form of cheating. That's a form of cheating. But it depends on if you tell them, right? Which we'll go into that later. But I'm just saying, fantasizing is a no-no. Okay. But you definitely don't touch, which is the first one that we know. Don't touch, sexual cheating. So there's also the physical affair without sex. Okay. And this is like a more covert way of when people, like, say, for instance, you're dating your boss, right? And you guys are at work. You might slowly graze their hand, like when they're at the, they have their hand right here or something like that. And you might just, as you're talking like this and whatever, and just that physical form and everything like that. And, you can't do anything while you're there. And I mean, you haven't tried anything with your boss, but you know that y'all like each other. And that is a form of cheating if you are with a partner at that time. So that's a physical affair without sex. Kells, Mr. Blunt himself says, anything I can't do in front of my mate is cheating. Facts. But again, what would you think if a person is like basically saying like you're okay? There are some people that say that they're just natural flirts, right? What do you think about that? Because there are people that say, you know what, I'm a natural flirt, it just happens. Like, not gonna lie, they say that Taurus flirts, like we just be like trying to was it finesse, we just try to finesse a person or whatever case might be, especially if we can find them attractive or whatever and stuff like that. We can talk some shit, boy. Can that be true? Me, I have to muster it up. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot for me to find you appealing. I have a lot. Okay, I'm a hard nut to crack. So, but cheating, like you said, a lot of people feel like cheating is cheating. Anything that you can't do in front of you. But again, if a person says that that's their personality, is that something that you condone? If a person's like, yo, I just, or are you accepting of that person and just roll your eyes as long as they don't physically do anything? The Legacy Folders building says, people always called me that. Oh, okay, that you're just the next. So see, you understand the fight, the difficultness, that when you talk and it's just like, yo, is this person flirting with me? And it's like, no, I'm just talking to you. I know it sounds good. I know it sounds good. Thank you. But okay, so yeah. Having romantic feelings for someone else while you're in a relationship. Well, me personally, when I see these as cheating, I understand that it meets certain criteria of a person. Like, of course, the sexual cheating and it has to do with the physical. Even the financial has to do with the physical thing. Emotional has to do, with the actual emotions and the fantasizing everything has to do with the mind. Even the physical affair has to do with the mindset and everything like that, which can eventually lead to the sexual cheating. However, I do feel that as human beings, we are going to do these things and that you shouldn't act on them. So that is my personal discrepancy, when I think about cheating, I mean, and I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that, but I do feel that you might think about this person or whatever in case might be. People have like celebrity crushes and stuff like that. They were like, oh, I would like to do this person and do that person or whatever and stuff like that. And I would say if you're not a secure person, then it's going to be difficult for you to be able to move forward. But I do feel that if a person has any scruples about themselves, they will act accordingly and show that they love their wife or their husband, whether or not they have they think that the neighbor down the block is attractive or not, that they can glance whatever the fuck and keep it moving and show their partner the respect they deserve. So, I mean, it's just out there. Is a person going to glance? The person going to look at a fat ass? Whatever. Me and him can look together, because I'm actually, yeah, I love a good pair of titties on a female and a nice ass. So I'm both. So I can't separate. But yeah, I lost train of thought because I was thinking. Scratch that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But if you support my Kaynichole After Dark, please do buy a badge. I do have merch available. Check on my links. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is also in the links. So, because welcome to Kaynichole After Dark, and again, we're talking about different types, ways of cheating on your significant other. Or this is one that I am also familiar with, and maybe a lot of females understand me here when I say that partner pouring their time and energy into a hobby, right? So my gamers that are playing games for 5 and 6 hours, and you invite your girl over. Invite her over after you finish playing, please, because we do not want to sit there and watch you play and then pay us attention. Like, that's not what's up. Hi, Keating, 11:38. Good night. So, yeah, or a person that is just over preoccupied in anything that takes you away from your partner. Just if you can include them. I mean, I feel like that's what makes a relationship stronger, right? If you include them in the activities that you're interested in, right? Night Angel Activist Presents says you are having some serious flashbacks tonight. Oh, but ha 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 ha. No, but I'm just saying. Then they said that there is, then we said earlier, right, micro cheating, which is maybe checking on an ex every once in a while, having a dating profile, and flirting with other people, and basically strangers, which, like I said, I have been guilty of, just, having a little fun, saying if you still got it, but yeah, so those are and then we have the last one, and this one that I actually had to do research on because I knew what it was, but I didn't really have a name for it, and it's called commemorative fidelity, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Commemorative fidelity, which this is, I would say, cheating on oneself. And why do I call it cheating on oneself? It's because a person is in a relationship. They're no longer in love with their partner. They stay in the relationship. and they go out and cheat, and they stay with it, and they convince themselves that they're only cheating because they have to be there. Like if they're in a marriage and they've been there for like 30, and the kids are young, I have to be there for the children. I have to be there. And I say that is cheating on oneself, because that's a complete and utter delusion. You can still be there for your children and not still be in the same household and not still be married to that person. So it is selfish, and so that's why I said you're denying you're denying yourself of your real self, because your real self is saying that you're selfish, that you want your cake and eat it too. So that's why I call it cheating on oneself and not being true. Because if you were true to yourself, you would be like, it's not that I'm stuck here or that I have to be in this relationship. It's because I don't want to have to cut my salary in half. I don't want to, I like the way that my wife treats me. So or my husband treats me, if we get divorced, I lose these things. But to understand that it comes from a certain place and eat that shit, So I think that that is really what, so commemorative fidelity is basically saying that you're stuck. You have to be there. And that's why you can't. And I mean, how many times have people heard that? And it's utter bullshit. So those are some of the types of cheating that is out there. So you can easily confront somebody and tell them exactly what kind of cheating they're doing and explain it to them in its entirety. So let me go to my second topic, which was the 7-year itch. So I'm on another podcast, The Lady Gurus, and we talk about a lot about celebrity gossip and a lot of celebrity news. So if you're not aware, Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor are no longer together. They were 7 years into their relationship, which I feel is about right for people to reassess themselves, because every 7 years you shed a new skin, I would call it, basically, and renew. And you're not a brand new person, because you're always the same person at your core, but you've gained more tools under your tool belt. You're a different person in growth. So at 7 years, you have to now relearn this new person that's in front of you, that you decided to marry, if you go by the old vows, through sickness and health, through rich or for poor, or whatever case it might be. And I'm on Hall of Fame level. As far as what? What do you mean by that, Kels, if you don't mind? But anyway, so in understanding that, a lot of people were saying that this is the reason that they don't want to get married, is because of how much Iman lost in the settlement, which he does have to give Teyana Taylor a suitable sum. Like it's I don't even know if I should use the word suitable, because it's a lot of money that I've never even seen before, that I don't think most people will see in their lifetime at once. So yeah. So so again, with this 7-year itch, I really do feel that people need to, again, learn and assess each other properly, get to know each other a little bit better, and I think with Iman and Teyana, I believe that breakdown occurred because, again, they were letting other people into their relationship, which I do have another video about having threesomes. So definitely check that out on my YouTube. Again, like and subscribe if you would, please. And, hit that notification button if you would. Like I said, all links are in my bio. So yeah, so people are feeling that when they see, especially celebrities, right, and they're dissolving of a relationship, and they want to analyze it, and men see how much they're having to sacrifice at the end. And again, I would encourage people to get prenups and enforce the prenup, because it's only as good as you push it and have stipulations in there. And then also have a partner that you know is going to be there for you. I mean, yes, a relationship might dissolve, but if you are mature enough, which that is the operative word, mature, then you should be able to understand the um, input that that person put into the relationship, and be able to say, you know what, they were the person that backed me up during this. They were the person that, always made sure that I had a hot meal, that I wasn't sick, that I wasn't, and and make that a part of how much they should get, and be able to say, like, and it be reasonable. I understand that a lot of women out here, go crazy and try to take a man for all he's worth. And that's wrong. Of course, I don't agree with it at all. There's a lot of, gold diggers out here. But then again, you knew that when you married her, honestly, because she showed herself and you didn't want to believe it. Again, denial. And we're neglecting to see the real. And that's what you should be doing. Like, I mean, the guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he played Notorious, and he's like, black women he sees is always having their hands out and looking like a gold digger and stuff like that. And it's like, no, it's not black women. It's the women that you're looking at. It's the women that you're looking at that always, because a woman that's a gold digger is going to show that she's a gold digger. That's not going to be something that you haven't seen. But let me get to these statements. Uh, Gosh. Notorious Photo says, literally get to know people better, not the live bomb stage. Love bombing stage. Yes, definitely. And people do go out and say that so quickly. But that's because, again, I've had this conversation with a friend of mine that, people want to get into the bedroom first. And it's like, that should be the last thing that you want to do. I mean, this is just the flesh. You want to know somebody on a deeper level. At least you say that you do. But a lot of people are just about, hitting the sheets. Kells, Mr. Blunt himself says, if we're cheating openly, just you ain't got worry about dinner. I ordering out. Okay. Kells, Mr. Blunt himself says, in my opinion, Taylor caused that relationship to break up. I would like for you to tell me how you feel, so how she did that. Smooth 540 says, I've been waiting to chat one of these. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Choice Food says, yes, my last partner, I was there more than she was there for me. It was all about her and hers. And when it came to me, I heard excuses. Okay. Yeah, that's tough, you want a partner that's going to be, there for you and stand by you and help you make the best decisions. But also in that, if the relationship does not last, you can't be necessarily ready to be nasty to that person and not give them their true worth. Because again, that's just evil. That's being tit for tat. That's being a lot of, other things that we could talk about. But at the end of the day, people should just not have so much greed. Like, honestly, because I think it's the greediness for me. It truly is. It's the greediness for me, because there's just so much of it, as far as when it comes to how much people are asking for these monthly payments from each other. It's just bananas. And it's like the average person is never going to see that type of money. It's like, but it just shows you that it's a business. It's a business. That's the most I'm going to say about it, that it's a business. So now we're going to go To a little part of the sexy realm, and then we'll take it back to the deep stuff. But we're going to talk about squirting and creaming. Now, I was asked this question a little bit ago on one of my anonymous questions. Antorius Photo says, as long as it didn't benefit her and what she was trying to accomplish, it was nothing. I'm sorry to hear that, Nez. I am. It's unfortunate that you met a person like that, but I do hope that you find a person that is going to heal those wounds, because you deserve to have a person that's going to pour into you like you pour into them. But into the squirting and the creaming. So I was asked this, and I find that honestly, I already knew what the statistics was on the whole squirting rhetoric, because it's like, who doesn't know that a man finds, most men, if they were asked, find squirting more appealing than they would creaming. Now, statistics are 18 to 54% of women can actually squirt. But some women know how to do it. They've practiced it. They're trying to get a way to do it. But it's really by massaging the female prostate gland. So if you do that, the G-spot and the clitoris, then you could possibly make a female squirt. Now, the squirting amount varies by female, of course. Some can be a little drip, while others can actually fill half a cup. Okay, so this can vary. Now, though you gentlemen, and I'm not saying to you specifically, so if it doesn't apply, let it slide. But for those of you that love a squirter in the bedroom, let me tell you, baby, you haven't done anything, because it's not indicative of an orgasm. So she may have done that, but that doesn't mean that you got her to her peak. Okay? So just keep that in mind, if you would, please. So yeah, hold that. Let's see what it says. Because Mr. Blind himself says, when watch some of her interviews, when she talks about the relationship, she made it seem like she was in control of it. Sometimes belittling him and bringing another woman in the bedroom is crazy. Yeah, I definitely second that second part. Angel Exodus Presents says, to squirt or not to squirt? That is the question. Funny. That's hilarious. So yeah, so actually, a creamer is more indicative of an orgasm, ladies and gentlemen. So if she's more of a cream pie, then baby, that is what you want. I mean, she's letting you know that you hit all the right spots. So yeah, so squirter or a creamer, you can have the squirt all you want. It just really doesn't mean anything. She's just giving you a nice little performance and messed up all your sheets. But a creamer means that your game. Cheers to you. So yeah. So now on to the rest of the question form of Kaynichole After Dark. So I had recently seen a reel that someone had sent to me, and she was asking. It was a pop-up balloon, of course. That's where most of this dating stuff is on. You see now is these pop the balloon. But in any case, she was firing questions at him. And though I thought that she was like boom, 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 I felt indicative, or not indicative, I felt it necessary to ask, is there such a thing as too many questions when dating? I mean, really, are there too many questions? And the thing is, I asked that because you know what? I actually have been told that, oh, you're asking me too much. You're asking me too many questions, you know, and just that I should just see. And I mean, sure, you could do that, but I'm a person that wants to see, but with my eyes and with my ears. Okay. I want to see exactly, if you're telling me something, I want to know that that's going to come to life. So if I ask you, if I were to date you, how would you feel about me wearing short skirts at the club? And he says, oh, I wouldn't care because you're coming back home to me and everything like that. And then you date him and then you wear a short skirt and he's like, no, you got to go back and change, shorty. Like, shit, you can't go out like that. I don't know what you thought, what time, what it was, look, but you got to go back up there. No, so be all the way through. That's what I want to hear what you say and see it play out in real life. And that's how I know that everything is copacetic, everything is kosher. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat here. And those that are just coming in, welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube. Where am I? Beth Music said no, but I don't know what you said no to. Dating is an interview. Oh, dating is an interview. Okay. So you never ask him any questions. Okay, got you. Night Injustice presents that squirting can be messy. Creamers can be messy also, but I do for creamers. Okay, thank you. Those that missed that part of the conversation. Kel's Mr. Blunt himself says no, but there should be a balance of observation and asking. Okay. Clap Music says if we're dating, we're not going to a club. Okay, I respect that. Actor Wink says I don't go to the club with women I date. Okay. But actor Wink says, but you can go to the club with your short skirt. No, I'm not saying that you're going to the club with her. Like she's going with her girls, and she's going to the club and she's wearing a short skirt. Like I'm not saying that she's going with you. I'm sorry if you guys got that confused. I wasn't saying that she was going with you to the club. Like a lot of no, most men don't unless it's like a lounge. But yeah, the club, no, lounge, yes. But that's what I was. So I'm sorry if that confused you guys. But no, she's going out with her friends, and she's wearing, and you're like, what is going on here? I'm on candid camera. So are you asking too many questions when in dating? And I feel that there's never too many questions, but you want to make sure that you're asking the right ones. A lot of people ask superficial, silly questions, and if you really want to get to know somebody, you need to go into the meat of it and stop playing around if you truly want to find the person that's best for you. Legacy Builders Family says, as you know with me, what you see is what you get. And once I say something, then that's what it is. And don't mind short skirts. Okay. That Music says clubs are for single people. Once you're taken, that's done. Okay. Legacy Builders Family, either I trust you or I don't. Actor Wink says, if I saw you before you left in your dress, I'm going to want a quickie before you go. Okay. Confidence, love it. Actor Wink says, and when you come back, got you. Okay, I love confidence. Kel's Mr. Blunt himself says, I don't believe in dictating wardrobe Because in most cases, men observe and are attracted to what they see. The issue is, okay, I agree with actor Wing. Okay. Legacy of books. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Kelsey Small says, can you trust to respect you and herself while out? Yeah, I mean, it depends on really how well do you know your shorty, right? You know, how well do you know your man? If he goes out and, he says that he's going to go out with the fellas, and he doesn't tell you, he's like, I don't know what we're doing. We're just, we're going out. Do you have trust enough that, he's going to be where he's going to be? So, yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting dating out here, but you got to ask the right questions and not just be asking questions just for the sake of asking them. It might be cute, but in this day and age, and I'm just saying because I keep on hearing how crazy it is in dating out here, and I'm just trying to add my 2 cents to help us do a little bit better, So, so in saying that, please, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, please buy a badge. I would love that. Thank you very much in advance. I know he don't want to call me right now. Okay. Quick break. Okay. Quick break. Let me tell you guys, right? I am a kind fucking female. Okay. I would give my last, okay, to a person that needed it the most. I am at fault, okay, for enabling a Negro. And I have done that in my past, okay, because I am one of those females that if I love you, I'm always going to have love for you and try to look out for you. As long as I'm single or whatever the case might be, if I can help you out, if I can be of assistance to you, then I'm going to be there for you. So my ex of 10 years asked me if he could borrow some funds from me. Chased me the fuck down to get it. He didn't have to chase me that long. Okay. He didn't have to chase me that long because it was only it was 2 days. And I was like, you know what? Let me be helpful. Let me be helpful to a Negro. Right? I asked him to pay me back when I got back from my trip. I've been back, right, for damn near a month and some change now. He hit me up with some bullshit, right? Because I called him and I was like, what's going on? Didn't hear nothing. Left voice messages and whatever. Like, I shouldn't have to chase you down because you were looking for me, giving me a sad story and everything. To then ghost me. To then tell me he had some virus and now he no longer has diarrhea. What the fuck does that have to do with me? And if it was only 3 days that you were dealing with this, what the fuck? What does that have to do with the rest of the month? Like, what are you talking about? So I respond, I'm glad I don't have to piss on your grave. He responds, damn, darling. Damn. Run me my money. He has been trying to get with me since we broke up for the longest. And he's as irresponsible as he was back then. I am purely disgusted. And I am so mad at myself that I allow myself to be so kind-hearted for people that truly do not deserve it. So please note this, okay? That's the kind of female that I am. But I am learning, okay? I am learning, okay? Because people take kindness for weakness. And there's nothing weak about me. I just have a kind soul and spirit. And the fact that he wants to call me now, for what? Keep the money. Don't talk to me. We have nothing to talk about. Nothing. But I see messages and stuff here. So let me look at, I'm sorry. Can you trust her to respect you? Oh wait, I read that already. Legacy Blue says, if I don't trust you, then you're not mine and I'm not yours. So there's no point of us being in a relationship. I totally agree. Hey, Jerry, welcome. Helpful to a Negro. This. I know, right? I know. And Kels was one who says, I heard but, yeah. So kind-heartedness can sometimes come with a sword attached to it. So that's just mindfulness right there. And just a recent story time for you guys. So y'all can take that as you will. It's my learning lessons are your cautionary. That's the word. Fuck. That's the word. Oh my gosh. Cautionary. So my tragedy is your cautionary tale. Yes, that is what it is. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. It was going to come. Yes. Cautionary tale. Okay. So the top things, right, that the men would let her do if they trusted her, right, was one, stay in my house when I'm not there. Okay. Go through my phone. That's an interesting one. I like that though. Go through my phone. If you have nothing to hide, right, it should be okay. You shouldn't freak out, right? So definitely that one. Or you just might not give a fuck. Who knows? Keys to the home. Okay. That's even more like deeper than just letting her stay. Like the fact that she can come and go as she pleases. What? Okay. I see you. And keys to the car. Okay. And I had a few others that said she's already my wife, which is okay. So clearly you trust her, and that's like a haha, I guess. I would let her drive my car. I guess that would be the keys to the car too. I guess so. Let me scratch that one. Can't say that one twice. Yeah. So yeah, that was just the other one, that she's my wife. Okay. So yeah, so that was the poll, and I thank those for giving their reply on it. So I appreciate y'all participating. Thank you. So that is pretty much the gist of the show. We went through that pretty quickly. So yay us. I think anyway. I started at 9:07. It was like 10:14. Okay. We went a little bit over an hour, but that's cool. I'm gonna have to chop it up anyway for the rant that I did, right? Or should I leave it? You guys let me know in my stories if I should leave the rant in or not on my YouTube when I put the playback. But yeah, again, cheating in different forms, however the form may be within your relationship, affects your partner greatly. Rather than doing it just step out of it. I mean, I'm telling you that it does more damage than good. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it to lose the trust, to have that person now have that kind of thing that they now carry with them. I don't think that's really nice to do to a person, especially if they had faith in people and faith in their relationships and faith in you, and then it kind of breaks up. So just let the person go. I really encourage those that think about cheating, that actually want to complete the act of it, whether it be a physical one without sex, which might just be kissing, or emotional, which is not great either. Like, don't have someone that's more important than your person that you're dating or married to. Respect boundaries. Leave the door open for communication between you and your partner at all points in the relationship, so that they can always feel that they can talk to you, even if they do step out of the relationship. To be able to have that conversation, because I believe I had posted in my stories, and I had about, whether or not, if someone had cheated, whether or not I would stay or not. And like I said, and I stand on it, that it would depend how they apologized, how they came at me about it. But the way that my ex handled it was bullshit. It should have never been handled that way. And so that is unforgivable. And that's why it is what it is. But if a person comes to me, lets me know that they stepped out on a relationship, that they're sorry, they're willing to do things to correct the behavior, then, I can assess the situation properly and make the proper decision whether or not I really want to give that person a second chance. But, at all forms, cheating is cheating, but you do have to have set boundaries of what cheating is within your relationship, because a person might not necessarily feel that you're cheating on them if you occasionally flirt, with people outside, just random strangers, as long as you don't take any numbers or whatever and stuff like that. Some people don't care. It all depends. So, but have a conversation, which, like I always say in any relationship, have a conversation. It's necessary. And again, with the 7-year itch, getting to know your new person, like, we're all going to evolve. Learn your person so that you can have, work on having a fulfilling relationship. And again, I always encourage, go to therapy. If you guys can't resolve it together, there's nothing wrong with having a middle person that can help mitigate the misunderstandings. So, yeah. So again, thank you for tuning in to Kaynichole After Dark. Those are just some of the topics that we went over. But if you are interested in hearing the whole conversation, please do watch the playback tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, always keep your crown straight, stay in touch, and I'll do the same. Take care. Have a great week.